Shalom, everybody. This is Universal Truth of Mankind. I am Dave, your host, and this is Kabbalah 101. Sorry, my throat is always, whenever I'm outside, pollen, I don't know. It even happens indoors, actually, when I have fresh air. Anyway, enough of that. Please like, share, subscribe. This is all free. Just put it out there for everybody. Let's get the word out. Okay. I don't coerce anybody. I just try to share what I've learned. Nothing more, nothing less. Not trying to certify anyone in anything. Okay. I want to talk about something called a Jewish neshama. I've seen this used many times in various books of Judaism. And it's not really understood by people who hear it for the first time. A Jewish neshama is sometimes called a Jewish soul. Now, I have a video about Jew and Gentile previously posted here, in which I try to explain that when we talk about Jew, in reality, it really is DNA. We're talking about physical DNA. It's what we're really talking about. So I try to stay true to that perspective, especially when they use halakha, three mothers. Obviously, it's three mothers worth of DNA that they're using for determining whether anyone's already a Jew. Now, let's understand something real quick before we move on this. When one decides to convert, you are learning how to live according to the community standards that you are joining. It's nothing to do with spiritual conversion. Spiritual conversion is already taking place. So if you are not accepted in a particular community after a year, 2 years, 15 years, I know somebody who's been doing this 15, you're not accepted. That means they don't think you're holding up to the standards of that community. But sometimes it's totally subjective. So you had to then say, well, where I go from here? Well, you may say, well, let me check the conservative movement or reform movement or something like that. And you may say, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't lessen my standards. So it's being a Jew, like I said, it is more of a DNA type of a thing. And then your conversion is more about thinking like and acting like you're part of the community. If they don't want you there, then they won't approve you. But it doesn't impact your spiritual conversion. Because technically, that's already has taken place since you want to be. I've actually been part of conversions in the past. And we knew that the person already converted themselves spiritually. So with that in mind, what is a Jewish neshama? You wake up one morning and you say, you know something? I'm tired of this religion I'm part of, or I'm tired of being a-religious. I know there's a God out there. I feel him. I know. It's a certainty. It's obvious. Yes, there's a sovereign entity, so to speak, out there that's in charge of everything and knows everything I'm doing or not doing, all my thoughts, the whole works. It's obvious. I'm there. I'm connected. That is somebody who has a Jewish neshama. Now, the neshama, that's a level of the soul. There's 5 souls. Neshama is right in the middle. It's the connecting point between and I talk a lot about this within my Meditation 101 playlist. The neshama are 2 pieces. You have an upper and lower neshama. The upper neshama is connected to your upper soul. The lower neshama is connected to your lower soul. This is your battleground. This is your metaphysical area. So you got the soul, metaphysical, the mind, and then you got the body, which is, supposed to be all connected. But what you're doing is you're acknowledging that there's an upper neshama. Your lower neshama is acknowledging an upper neshama, and it wants to be connected to that. It wants to learn from it. It wants to, connect, you know, in a more real way. Again, I talk a lot about this in the Meditations 101 playlist. So what we have now is not only the metaphysical connection, but then we have to learn to act out the proper style of life. And that's where the conversion comes in. So you have to be very selective where you convert. So let's say you say, well, I'm just starting out. Start at a reform. Go to a reconstructionist shul. Start there and move up. You may eventually say, okay, well, I'm done with the reconstruct. Now I want to go to reform. Okay, let me go to reform. Well, I don't agree with everything there. I want to be now conservative. And remember, all these different sects of Judaism are not created equally, so they are quite often different. So it's not across the board same. You can go to a conservative shul and it almost looks like it's sorry, it's a what do you call it? Modern Orthodox in appearance. So that's the way you may want to approach a conversion. Sorry, I'm not talking about conversion, but so the Jewish neshama is where this journey starts. It's where we start becoming and acting like we're part of Torah, where we become like Messiah. And Messiah's name is, I have a video on that in Kabbalah 101, is the Torah. First letter to the very last letter and everything in between. That whole Torah scroll is the name of Messiah. I hope this helps you to maybe figure out your journey in the future, and you take care and enjoy yourself. Shalom, everybody.